Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
We were discussing about the different classes of fungi in the previous class. Children, I think you lack energy. You need a little more energy. Even for saying good morning, you don't have energy. I think you didn't eat your breakfast. You all had? No. Got up just now, no? This is your first period? Is this your first period?
Yes, ma'am.
5 minutes back you woke up, no? Tell me the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, no problem. Just manage for 50 minutes. Okay, children, so we learned about different classes of fungi and we completed, I think 2 we have completed, no? Lakshmi, which are the 2 classes that we completed? Only names. Can't hear. Meherin?
Ma'am, Phycomycetes and Ascomycetes.
Okay. What is the difference between the mycelium present in these 2 classes, Atulya? In terms of mycelium, how can you differentiate?
Phycomycetes has aseptate and xenocytic.
Don't check.
Aseptate and xenocytic mycelium, and Ascomycetes has branched and septate.
Okay. So we'll continue with the classes of fungi. Today we are going to learn 2 more classes of fungi. We'll start with Basidiomycetes. Okay, Basidiomycetes, you can see a few pictures of fungi belonging to this particular class. It includes mushrooms, bracket fungi or puff balls. So bracket fungi, you can see the third figure, it resembles a bracket. So that is why it got the name bracket fungi, then puff balls, mushrooms. These are some of the main fungal groups or fungi coming under this particular class. They grow in soil or on logs and tree stumps and in living plant bodies as parasites. Okay, children, the second point, they grow in soil, on logs and tree stumps and in living plant bodies as parasites. So you can find them in different habitats, like they can be seen in soil or you can see them growing on parts of the plants, logs or on tree stumps and even in living plant bodies. So when they are found growing in living or growing on living plant bodies, you can call them as parasites. And some of the fungi, they can cause diseases. For example, rust and smut. So these are 2 disease-causing fungi. They causes 2 types of disease, rust and smut, mainly in cereal crops. I'll repeat again, they grow in soil, on logs and tree stumps, and even they lead a parasitic life in living plant bodies, and they cause different diseases like rust and smut disease. Mycelium, here it is branched and septate. I told the difference is only in the first one, the Phycomycetes. In Phycomycetes, we learned the mycelium is septate, aseptate and xenocytic. Remaining all the 3 classes, mycelium is branched and septate. And here they don't reproduce by means of asexual spores. Asexual method of reproduction by means of vegetative reproduction is there, but they don't produce any asexual spores. So in the previous classes, we learned about both sexual, asexual spores and reproduction by vegetative methods also. But here asexual spores are absent, but they carry out fragmentation, which is a vegetative method of reproduction or vegetative propagation. Once again, the different groups coming under this category are, this class are, mushrooms, bracket fungi, puff balls, etc. You can see them growing in soil and parts of plants and even on living, see when it is said logs and tree stumps, even it can be decaying or it is not necessary that it should be living, and it can be even found living as parasites on the body of living plants. And they cause different diseases, and mycelium is branched in septate, and they don't usually reproduce by means of asexual spores. They are not generally found, but at the same time they carry out vegetative propagation by means of fragmentation. Fragmentation, you know, the filamentous structure of the fungus will break into small fragments, and each fragment can grow into a new organism. That is known as fragmentation. In class 10, you had learned about fragmentation. Now, more points about Basidiomycetes. You can see the common mushroom, Agaricus, then Ustilago, Puccinia, some of the examples coming under Basidiomycetes. Here, sex organs are absent. So, asexual spores are not there, and even sexual organs are also absent. So those points to be noted: no asexual spores, and sexual organs are not there. But here, fusion of plasmogamy. Plasmogamy, what is plasmogamy? Shabari, what is plasmogamy?
Fusion of protoplasm.
Fusion of protoplasm. So plasmogamy takes place by means of the fusion of two vegetative or somatic cells of different strains or genotypes. So two different strains of fungi, their vegetative cells or body cells, the somatic cells, will fuse together, resulting in plasmogamy, and the structure formed is known as dikaryon. Dikaryon, what is meant by the dikaryotic stage or dikaryon? Who can tell me? Valentina, what is meant by dikaryon? Which stage you call as a dikaryotic stage?
Where two nuclei are present.
Two nuclei remain separate as N plus N instead of fusing together to form the diploid 2N structure. They will remain as two different nuclei, N plus N. So that is known as a dikaryotic stage. And here plasmogamy will be followed by the dikaryotic stage. And it will remain as two different nuclei, and later it will form basidium. Basidium is a sporangium inside which the spores are being produced. Basidium. Sporangium or spore-bearing body. This will be produced on some fruiting body. So, but it is inside this basidium that the spores will be present. Karyogamy and meiosis occur in basidium. So, inside this basidium, so you know that dikaryotic stage is found in Basidiomycetes, where the nuclei will remain as N plus N. And this will form the sporangium or the spore-bearing structure known as basidium. And within the basidium, two major stages. First stage, plasmogamy is completed. And once you have learned in the beginning that there are three main stages: plasmogamy, then karyogamy, which is a fusion of nuclei, and then finally meiotic division to release or to produce spores. And here first plasmogamy takes place. Sex organs are not there, but just the somatic cells or vegetative cells will come and fuse together, and that will result in plasmogamy, fusion of protoplasm, but the nuclei will remain as N plus N or as dikaryon, as two different nuclei. And this dikaryon will form basidium, or this structure will lead to or will result in the formation of the spore-bearing structure known as basidium. And within the basidium, then further stages are completed. Karyogamy, dikaryon, N plus N will change into 2N, or the diploid structure will be formed within the basidium, which will be followed by reduction division or meiotic division. And you know, as a result of meiotic division, haploid spores will be produced, and from each 4 basidiospores are produced. From each one, you will get 4 basidiospores. These are produced exogenously. Now, you know the difference between endogenously and exogenously. Exogenously means they will be produced. See this basidium. Somebody is talking in between. Mute your microphone. See if this basidium and here you can see the spores being produced exogenously, not inside. It is produced exogenously. Okay. These are the, just a minute. Once again, I'll show. This fruit, not fruit bearing, they will be produced on fruiting bodies, and this structure is a spore bearing body, and you can find the basidiospores being produced exogenously, not within, on the external surface. Karyogamy and meiotic division will take place in the basidium, and 4 basidiospores are produced, and basidia are arranged in fruiting bodies called basidiocarps. So it is on basidiocarp. Some fruiting bodies are there, you call it as basidiocarp. So on basidiocarp, what are produced? Basidiocarp is the fruiting body. Basidiocarp is the fruiting body where these basidia is plural, basidium is singular. Okay, and basidia is the spore bearing body or spore bearing structure. And on this basidium we can find basidiospores. So these terms you should not get confused. These are very similar. Basidiocarp, basidium, basidiospores. Basidiocarp is the fruiting body on which basidia are produced. Basidia are the spore bearing bodies which will produce spores. Okay, basidiocarp. On basidiocarp, basidium is produced, and on basidium, basidiospores are produced. Clear, children? So don't get confused. Example, Agaricus stylago. We call it a smut also because it causes a disease known as smut. Then Puccinia, we call it as rust fungus because it causes the disease rust. Shall I repeat again? Shall I repeat all the points about basidiomycetes once again, children, before we proceed to the last class, that is deuteromycetes? So all the points we'll see once again. Basidiomycetes includes mushrooms, bracket fungi, puffballs, and you can see them leading a parasitic life in or on the body of some living plants. And at the same time, you can see them growing in soil, logs of wood or tree stumps. And examples for those parasitic forms are rust and smut. It is, we call them so because they cause the disease known as rust and smut, mainly in cereal crops. Then mycelium is branched and septate. Sexual spores are not found. That is an important point to be noted. So here no asexual spores are present, and even sex organs are also absent. And how they carry out asexual method of reproduction? By means of fragmentation. Fragmentation is a method of vegetative propagation. Then we learned about the formation of spores. So here the sex organs are absent, but the vegetative cells or the cells present in the thallus or the plant body, sorry, not plant body, fungal body. So they will come and fuse. So 2 vegetative cells or 2 fungal or 2 somatic cells. Somatic cells means the cells of its body. Okay, it will come fuse together, and these 2 cells which are fusing together can be belonging to different strains, different varieties or different genotypes. When they are of different varieties, so genotype or the genetic arrangement can be slightly different. So these 2 different strains will come together and their protoplasm will fuse, resulting in plasmogamy. And once plasmogamy is completed, there is an intermediate stage. So before karyogamy takes place, in between there is a stage which you call as dikaryon, where the nuclei will exist as N plus N instead of fusing together to form a diploid structure. And then this dikaryon will change or will develop into basidium. Basidium is a spore-bearing body on which spores are produced. But these basidia are produced on fruiting bodies, and these fruiting bodies we call as basidiocarps. Basidiocarps, or at the tip of the basidiocarps you can find basidia. And on basidia, basidiospores are produced. And how are these basidiospores produced? Once basidium is formed, karyogamy or the fusion of nucleus to form a diploid structure will take place within the basidium. And once karyogamy is completed, that will lead to meiotic division. Once meiosis is taking place, it will result in the production of haploid spores. And 4 basidiospores or 4 spores are being formed from a basidium, and then these spores are produced exogenously on the outer surface, not within the spore bearing structure but on the external surface. Basidiocarp is a fruiting body on which basidia are produced, and basidia will produce spores exogenously. Example, agaricus, Stylago, Puccinia. Puccinia, we call it as rust fungus, Stylago, smut fungus. All those are the names of the diseases which they cause in plants. Have you noted down the points?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I change?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the last class, that is Deuteromycetes. We call it as imperfect fungi too. This is also known as imperfect fungi. The reason for that is they do not have any sexual phase. They have only asexual or vegetative phases. So all the fungi having only asexual or vegetative phases are included under Deuteromycetes. When some sexual stages are found, then those fungi will be moved to the other classes like Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes. So this one is only meant for imperfect, means those which are not having any sexual phase. And in case if a sexual stage is found in the fungi, they will be grouped, or they will be considered as Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. They will be categorized under those classes. And this one or this particular class includes only those fungi which are having asexual and vegetative phases but no sexual phases, and that is why you call it as imperfect fungi, as the perfect phase is considered to be the sexual phase. Once again, Deuteromycetes is commonly known as imperfect fungi. Give reason. It's because they have only their vegetative and asexual phases are known. They don't have any sexual phase. In case if some of the fungi show the sexual phases, they will be moved to the other two classes, Ascomycetes or Basidiomycetes. More about Deuteromycetes. They reproduce by means of asexual spores. Conidia. You should know about the names of spores. You should be thorough with the names of spores produced by each class. This topic, the different classes of fungi, can be asked as a 5 marks question, or else short answer questions also. There are chances that you get confused between different types of spores. Ascospores, Conidia, Basidiospores. We don't say conidiospores. The term used is conidia, asexual spores. Deuteromycetes reproduce by means of asexual spores. Children, I am repeating again. Basidia are the spore-bearing bodies inside or on the outer surface, or producing basidiospores exogenously. So basidia is the basidium, or basidia are the spore-bearing structure where basidiospores are produced, and conidia are spores, not any spore-bearing structure. For the spores you call as conidia. Deuteromycetes reproduce only by means of asexual spores, and the asexual spores which they produce you call as conidia. Mycelium, as I told you already, septate and branched. So if you have learned the first, second class of fungi, the mycelium characteristics of the second one, the same you can repeat for remaining classes. First one, or Phycomycetes, is having aseptate and cenocytic mycelium, all others septate and branched mycelium. Some are saprophytes or parasites. You know the difference between parasitic and saprophytic mode of nutrition. Saprophytes, they depend upon dead and decaying organic matter for their food, whereas parasites, they live on the body of other organism or a host organism, and they derive nutrition from them. Majority of them are decomposers of litter. All the waste will get decomposed. Like bacteria, they also act as decomposers, and you know, they help in recycling of the nutrients, because when they decompose a dead living organism, the complex substances present in these organisms are broken down to simpler substances, and these simpler substances will be released into soil. And from the soil, plants will absorb, and from the plants, other animals will get it. So again, the recycling, when those plants and animals die and decay, again with the help of decomposers, they are going back to the soil, and then other plants will take it from the soil, and this process will get, excuse me, will get repeated. And hence you call, or hence we say that they help in mineral recycling. Examples: Alternaria, Coletotrichum, and Trichoderma. These are some of the examples for the fungi coming under Deuteromycetes. So with that, we have completed the different classes of fungi. So once again, the points that we learned about Deuteromycetes we learned. So it's known as imperfect fungi. Reason, no sexual stages or phases are known, and only we have discovered some vegetative and asexual phases. If sexual stages were discovered, whenever such sexual phases or the perfect phases were discovered, those fungi were moved to or were categorized under Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, and they carry out asexual reproduction by means of spores known as conidia. Mycelium septate and branched, and their mode of nutrition, some of them, they are saprophytes, certain others lead a parasitic life, and these fungi help in nutrient recycling because they act as decomposers, and acting upon dead and decaying or dead organism, dead living organism, they'll break it down into simpler substances. The complex substances present in these dead organisms will be broken down to simpler substances, and these will be added to the soil. From the soil, plants will again use, and a share will go to the animals, and again when these plants and animals die, it will again come back to the soil, and by the action of these fungi and other even bacteria. Okay. So with that, we have completed the 4 different classes of fungi. Okay. Have you completed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Example pictures of the fungi also you can see. The three typical examples I told, Alternaria, Coleotrichum and Trichoderma. Pictures also you can see over here. Finished? Let me know when you have completed. Shall I change? Respond. Have you completed?
No, ma'am.
Quickly note it down. Children, so many terms we had learned under classes of different classes of fungi. So let me check whether you are remembering all these terms. Those who know the answers can respond. Okay, shall I ask you a few questions to avoid your confusion? Zygospore is an example for sexual or asexual spores.
Sexual.
Sexual spores. Zoospores? You the trick to remember that. Then we learned about conidiophore. What are these conidiophores? Where we came across conidiophores, under which class? In this class which we completed just now, we learned about conidia. But conidiophore where I mentioned, under which class? Ascomycetes. What are conidiophores? What are conidiophores? Anybody? Turn the videos on, children. And Mary. Yes, Samia? Repeat. Who can say? I'm not able to hear you clearly, child. These are special type.
Conidia exogenously.
Now, my question is, what are conidiophores?
Conidia produced by exogenously on the special mycelium.
They are special type of what?
Mycelium.
Mycelium. Because you should not get confused among mycelium, spore-bearing structure, fruiting body. So you should make it thorough, these terms. So conidiophore, actually they are special type of mycelium. And on these conidiophores, what are produced? What are produced?
Conidia.
Conidia are sporangium or spores? Just now, when about Deuteromycetes, I told you, conidia?
Spores.
Conidia are spores. Sexual or asexual?
Asexual.
Asexual spores. Children, Anne Mary, Buddha, Tushar, Nehal, Basma, Abhinav. Okay. And what are basidia then? Conidia, you said, those are asexual spores. Then what are basidia? Buddha, what are basidia? Are they spores? Who can answer?
1 minute.
1 minute. If you can refer, everyone. Yes, Sadulya?
Spore-bearing structures.
Spore-bearing structure. And what do you call the spores over there? What is the name of the spores? Basidiospores. And then what are basidiocarp?
Floating bodies.
Floating body.
Okay, so all these terms you can write separately in a table or somewhere. Otherwise, you will definitely forget and you get confused. Conidiophore, conidia, basidia, basidiocarp, basidiospores. And there is no point in saying, no need of saying that you are getting confused. I know you will get confused. So such confusing terms, you pick out and you write it separately and write down what each one represents. And conidia and, conidia and basidia, chances are there to get confused. Conidia are asexual spores, whereas basidia are spore-bearing structures on which basidiospores are produced exogenously. So make it thorough like that, you will never forget. Okay, take some extra effort and in your, or in the rough note or where you're writing lecture notes or in some sticky notes, you write all these and keep. Okay, and I just wanted to show you an example of a concept map based on the chapter biological classification. I'll just show so that you too can prepare. Because if you are preparing it towards the end for all the chapters, it is not that easy task. And those who are preparing for entrance especially, so you will get the all the points in the particular chapter in a nutshell. Like it is not in elaborate terms, but easily you can recollect all the major points. So next class I will show you that. Okay. Just remind me if I forget. So why I'm showing it is, then you can prepare on your own, whichever is convenient for you. There are no hard and fast rules. Whichever is easy for you, whichever pattern or however you can do it, you do it. Because in biology, I don't know about other subjects, biology it is must. Otherwise you get confused between different points. Okay. Then what else I wanted to ask, why you call Deuteromycetes or why they are known as imperfect fungi? Zahan? Why do you call Deuteromycetes as imperfect fungi? Answer is very simple.
Because they can only reproduce asexually.
Louder?
They can only reproduce asexually.
Asexually. Only asexual and vegetative phases are not, and they don't carry out any sexual method of reproduction. And in case a sexual stage is discovered, then those fungi will be grouped under the other classes. Okay. So shall we continue with plant kingdom? Only 5 more minutes now. So then let's start next class. Or I think, should we? Yes?
Ma'am, can you show the first slide?
First means, you tell me the heading or caption. Which class?
Basidiomycetes.
Okay. Anybody else want to see other slides? All these points are there in the textbook, children, but here I have made it points, that's all. This one, no? Analysis? In Basidiomycetes, sexual organs are absent, asexual spores are also absent. So such unique points you should highlight, you should underline, whether it is in your lecture note or textbook. So those points which stand apart from the others, you should highlight it, underline it, or whichever is convenient for you, whichever is easy for you to remember. In that way, you prepare or color it so that you will never forget. And these colors will help in registering it easily. That is why here also I have tried to use colors in the main point. So easily it can go into your brain. Sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy takes place by means of fusion of vegetative cells. So two vegetative cells or somatic cells will come together, their protoplasm will fuse and result in formation of a dikaryon, not a diploid nucleus. And this dikaryon will form what? Analysis? Basidium. And inside the basidium, the remaining 2 stages in the sexual reproduction will be completed. That is karyogamy and also meiotic division. And how many spores are produced, children? Nowhere else the number of spores are mentioned. So this you need to note. 4 spores are being produced. Basidiospores. Basidium is the spore-bearing body. Basidiocarp is a fruiting body. Basidiocarp on that basidium, and basidium will produce basidiospores exogenously. Whereas when we discussed about conidia, we learned about conidiophores. There no such spore bearing structure is there. These will be produced, conidia will be produced at the tip of conidiophore or special kind of mycelium. There no such special, spore bearing body is present. Conidia are asexual spores produced on conidiophore. What is conidiophore? It's a special type of mycelium, and conidia are found in, or these are the asexual spores found in Ascomycetes as well as in Deuteromycetes. It can be asked, name 2 classes of fungi that reproduce by means of conidia. So you should know such question answers. Okay. Is that okay, Annelies?
Yes, ma'am.
So we don't have time to start with plant kingdom. Plant kingdom and animal kingdom very briefly you will be learning in this chapter, because the other 2 chapters, next chapter we are going to learn plant kingdom in detail, and after that animal kingdom. So here it is, in this chapter it is very briefly mentioned. And children, let me take your attendance. And children, why these videos are getting turned off in between? I get so irritated. How many times we can say, you're not small children?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.